The movie starts, and we see a lady named Loretta Sage. She is a novelist. Loretta is known for her popular novel series, and for creating epic tales revolving around a fictional Dr. Angela Lovemore and her romantic interest, Dash McMahon. As Loretta grapples with the pressures of her personal and professional lives, she struggles to find inspiration for her latest Dash adventure. Memories of her late explorer husband's tragic demise weigh heavily on her. Her publicist's relentless demands only add to her stress, leaving her feeling overwhelmed and uninspired. Frustrated by her inability to capture the essence of Dash's adventures, she deletes her latest draft in a moment of frustration. As she reflects on her husband's legacy and her own creative struggles, she remains determined to find her voice and honor her husband's memory through her writing. Loretta's publisher, Beth Hatton, wants her to go on a book tour with Alan Caprison to promote her latest release. Alan is a model and portrays Dash on the covers of the novels. He graces the cover pages of Loretta's books. Beth has heavily invested in her work and wants her to connect with the audience, hence the book tour. But Loretta feels some reluctance. Caught up in the whirlwind of the expo, Loretta finds herself facing unexpected challenges and confrontations. Despite her initial reluctance, she attends the event dressed in a purple sequined jumpsuit, where she's met with both excitement and apprehension. Alan Caprison, dressed in a fake blonde wig, enters the stage to thunderous applause from the audience. As the presentation unfolds, a fan requests for Dash to dip Loretta. This puts Loretta and Alan in an awkward position. Loretta attempts to go along with it, but tears Alan's blonde wig, cutting the presentation short. Her publicist's scolding only adds to her stress. Loretta wanders outside instead of attending her next interview. She comes across Alan, leading to a heated confrontation and eventual separation. Feeling overwhelmed, Loretta calls for a ride, only to find herself unexpectedly taken by mysterious henchmen in a black SUV, leaving both her and Alan stunned. Alan notices her driving away and attempts to catch up with them, but is unsuccessful. Loretta finds herself face to face with Abigail Fairfax, and their encounter takes a bizarre turn as the eccentric billionaire attempts to win her over with an unusual offering of cheese. However, Fairfax's true motive emerges as he unveils his discovery of a lost city on a remote Atlantic island, and his obsession with uncovering the legendary Crown of Fire, a priceless artifact belonging to ancient royalty, King Calaman and Queen Taha. Fairfax's revelation about the artifact pointing to the hidden treasure near the small island, threatened by an impending volcanic eruption, adds a sense of urgency and danger to the situation. Recognizing Loretta's books was partially based on historical research. According to legend, King Calaman once gave the Crown of Fire to his queen, but its whereabouts are hidden in an ancient language. Loretta's late husband, who was an explorer, had a talent for deciphering such languages. Fairfax seeks her assistance in deciphering the ancient clue that could lead them to the coveted Crown of Fire, and asks Loretta to name the price for her cooperation, but Loretta remains steadfast in her refusal. He reveals that they have a plane waiting for her. To secure Loretta's cooperation, Fairfax resorts to force by knocking her unconscious. This act of coercion highlights the lengths to which Fairfax is willing to go in pursuit of the treasure. Loretta is rendered unconscious and thrust into a high-stakes adventure that will test her courage, resilience, and determination to uncover the secrets hidden within the lost city. Back at the hotel, Alan, who harbors a secret crush on Loretta, finds himself consumed by guilt over Loretta's plight. With her publicist and social media manager in tow, they embark on a mission to locate her. Alan reaches out to an unexpected source, Jack Traynor, a former Navy SEAL turned CIA operative whom he once practiced yoga with. Jack, confident in his abilities, promises Alan that he will find Loretta using her smartwatch, that they will have her safely back within 48 hours, and that Alan should meet him on the island. Meanwhile, Loretta awakens in a makeshift campground where Fairfax has established a base of operations to find the island's hidden treasure. After a brief nap, Fairfax presses Loretta harder to translate a small piece he's discovered, hinting at the treasure. She translates it, but he insists on a second translation. Meanwhile, Traynor eliminates several of his soldiers, while Alan, locked out of the car he was supposed to remain in, proves to be an ineffective backup, occasionally striking a henchman or two. Eventually, they reach Loretta but struggle to untie her from the chair. They end up carrying her, along with the chair, out of the compound amidst explosions. Returning to the car, Jack is fatally shot in the head, leaving Alan's face splattered with his brains. They load into the car, with Loretta still in the chair, and drive away. Furious that Loretta took the only puzzle piece, Fairfax demands her recapture. After a hasty escape, Loretta falls out of the car, prompting Alan to pull over and free her from the chair. But upon their return to the car, it falls over the cliff, leaving them stranded without means to contact authorities. With Fairfax's forces hot on their trail, they opt to trek through the jungle to reach the airport. Their journey includes an unpleasant detour through a murky pond infested with leeches, leaving Alan uncomfortably covered, particularly on his behind. After Loretta removes the leeches, they encounter a waterfall. Here, Loretta utilizes the clue she got from Fairfax to decipher the remaining enigmatic puzzle, hinting at the treasure being hidden in a location with endless tiers. Soon, they find themselves pursued by Fairfax's henchmen and almost get caught. They quickly scramble up a mountain to evade capture. Alan awkwardly assists Loretta by pushing her upward with his head between her legs until they reach the summit. As night falls, the duo sets up camp, reminiscing about their wild adventure before drifting off to sleep in a cramped hammock. Meanwhile, Fairfax enlists the help of a trio of motorcycle-riding thugs to join in the chase. Next morning, Loretta finally opens up to Alan, revealing her true feelings by criticizing him for being nothing more than a superficial cover model seeking attention. Surprisingly, Alan counters by disclosing his humble origins and expressing his genuine enjoyment of being Dash, explaining how it brings joy to his fans. He criticizes Loretta for not understanding the importance of pleasing their fans. Despite their differences, they decide to press on, eventually arriving at a quaint village. After seeking assistance from the local police for protection, the duo freshens up and begins mingling with the villagers, eager to immerse themselves in the local culture. Meanwhile, the determined publicist takes it upon herself to track down Loretta and bring her back. She arranges a small charter to a remote airport, only to discover there's no immediate transportation available. It's here that she encounters Oscar and his trusty goat, who offer to take her to her destination by unconventional means. Eventually arriving at a small police station, she's initially turned away as they claim to be closed, but she manages to convince them to assist her. Amidst a spontaneous dance prompted by a local woman, Loretta receives a vital clue about the whereabouts of the Pool of Endless Tears. Inspired by her renewed sense of adventure, she asks Alan to join her in the quest for the treasure. Eager to see Loretta's adventurous side reignited, Alan agrees and heads off to gather supplies. However, their plans are interrupted when Fairfax reappears, capturing Loretta and speeding off in his vehicle. Alan, undeterred, pursues them on a small motorbike. After a frantic pursuit, Loretta sets the interior of the vehicle on fire while Alan struggles against the thugs on the rooftop. Despite their efforts, they are eventually captured and taken to the island, where Fairfax is determined to uncover the treasure. Inside the cavern, one of Fairfax's lackeys meets a grim fate, falling off a cliffside after taunting Loretta. Undeterred, they press on through a narrow tunnel, leading them to a tomb. With brute force, they pry open the crypt, only to discover the treasure is nothing but a collection of seashells. They come to a realization. It isn't a vault brimming with riches, but rather a sacred space where the queen mourned the loss of her beloved husband. The crown of fire was fashioned from the red seashells the king gathered to express his enduring love for her. The true treasure of the legend wasn't material wealth, but the unbreakable bond of love shared between the king and queen. Enraged by the disappointment, Fairfax imprisons Loretta and Alan inside the tomb as the volcano begins to erupt. However, before departing, Raffi, one of Fairfax's henchmen who has a change of heart, leaves behind a crowbar. Amidst reflections on their shared journey, Alan utilizes the crowbar to free them just in the nick of time. As Fairfax encounters the publicist and the police, he feigns innocence, claiming to be a victim after his henchman absconds with the boat. Meanwhile, Loretta and Alan narrowly escape the tomb amidst a series of explosions, only to be rescued by the publicist. Exposing Fairfax's deceit, they confront him, and he makes a failed escape attempt, which is thwarted by Oscar, who claims to support the publicist. Taking refuge on a nearby rock, Loretta and Alan find solace as they recreate the cover for her forthcoming book. Months later, Loretta's next book, based on her adventure with Alan, is published, marking the culmination of their extraordinary tale. In the final scene, the publicist, the social media manager, and Oscar unwind on the island after the book launch, while Loretta and Alan share a heartfelt conversation about the bond they've forged. In a moment of unexpected connection, they share a tender kiss, sealing their newfound relationship. In a mid-credit sequence, Loretta and Alan are taking part in some relaxing yoga. It's here that Jack Traynor returns. They're in shock that he's still alive, and he can't help but give them odd glances as they get back to their relaxation. The movie ends here.